Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into the big one, the absolute most anticipated game of the decade, GTA 6. We're going to break down exactly what PC gamers need to know about the release timeline, that dreaded wait, and the absolute beast of a hardware setup this game is going to demand.
Look, the hype right now is completely unreal. But before we get too carried away with all the recent announcements, we kind of need to have a reality check about playing Rockstar games on a PC, because as you'll see, the rules for us are just a little bit different.
Okay, here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, the PC release timeline. Second, why the delay happens. Third, estimated system requirements. And finally, the ultimate PC advantage. Let's get into it.
Starting off with Section 1, the PC release timeline.
So, the golden question. When can you actually play it? Well, Rockstar confirmed November 19, 2026 for the PS5 and the newest Xbox consoles. But, and this is a massive but, there is absolutely no official word on a PC launch for that date. Like zero.
If we look at their historical playbook, just think back to GTA 5 or Red Dead 2. Consoles always get the red carpet first. The PC version, that usually shows up months or, let's be real, years later. Based on that pretty solid track record, we're realistically looking at a delay of 1 to 2 full years after that November 2026 console launch. Yeah, that pushes a PC release all the way to 2027, or maybe even 2028.
Which brings us to Section 2. Why exactly does this delay happen?
Literally thousands. That's the short answer. Unlike the console ecosystem, where every single PS5 is built exactly the same, the PC world is basically the Wild West. You've got thousands of different hardware combinations out there. Rockstar needs that extra time to thoroughly test and optimize everything so the game doesn't just crash on day one. It essentially boils down to this three-pronged strategy. First, like we just talked about, that's super complex hardware optimization. Second, it's a phased marketing strategy. Releasing on consoles first lets them maximize those initial sales, and then they get to double dip when they drop the definitive optimized version on PC later. And third, delaying the PC launch is actually a classic tactic to dodge early game piracy during that really critical launch window.
All right, moving on to Section 3, Estimated System Requirements.
Now, this sheer scale of power you're going to need here is honestly staggering. Based on what the next-gen consoles can do and some recent industry leaks, just to get a smooth 60 frames per second, you're looking at needing something like an Intel i7 12th Gen or a Ryzen 7 5800X, plus at least an RTX 3070 and 16 to 32 gigs of RAM. Want to crank it up to those gorgeous ultra settings? You're stepping right into RTX 4080 and 32 gigs of RAM territory. It's wild.
But hold up, pay really close attention to storage here, because these open worlds are so incredibly massive and dense, an ultra-fast NVMe SSD is absolutely mandatory. If you're still rocking a traditional hard drive, man, those are effectively a graveyard for next-gen AAA games at this point. You're going to need at least 150 gigabytes of fast SSD storage ready to go, and honestly, probably even more than that.
So why is it so demanding? Well, GTA 6 runs on a heavily upgraded version of Rockstar's Rage engine. This thing is going to push your current setup to its absolute limits. We're talking insanely dense cities, hyper-dynamic weather systems, super realistic physics, and way more advanced NPC AI. Every single lightning strike, every detailed interior, and every combat animation is going to tax your hardware heavily.
Okay, let's look at the bright side in Section 4, the ultimate PC advantage. This is where that agonizing wait actually pays off. The contrast between playing on console and playing on PC is just night and day. Consoles are locked to fixed hardware, right? You'll likely get a 30 FPS cinematic mode, maybe 60 FPS if you're okay with reduced graphics. But on PC, the ceiling is totally unlocked. We're talking 120 plus frames, true 4K or even 8K resolution, fully custom settings, and obviously, those game-changing community mods that'll completely transform the game for years to come. Bottom line, the PC version is basically guaranteed to be the most advanced, visually stunning version of the game out there. Despite having to wait a year or two, Rockstar's PC ports are historically polished to absolute perfection. They don't just port it, they upgrade it. It will undoubtedly be the definitive way to experience their living, breathing open world.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on. Based on everything we just unpacked in today's explainer, the massive engine upgrades, those strict SSD rules, and the hefty GPU requirements, take a really hard look at your current setup. Ask yourself, is your rig truly ready for what's coming with GTA 6? You've got a couple of years to prepare. The time to start planning those upgrades is right now.